This is the G98.7 FM family. We do have their families as well that are form a part of our family because we do long hours, we multitask, and the families have to be with us. Farah, we just double assigned her in Barbados. We have colleagues here that worked with us prior, no longer with us, but that's the respect, that's the bond that we share. Wayne, all of you over there, I say you, thank you for coming. Each, just a few of them, don't panic, not all of them, just a few of them are gonna say 10 seconds just to say something, okay? Bear with them, they're broken, that was their friend, not just their boss, okay?
Good evening, everyone. My name's Charlene McCallum. I was Mr. Gordon's executive assistant. Mr. G, I'll always be your cha-cha. We miss you and we love you.
Hi, my name is Specs. I just want to say thank you to Mr. Gordon for making me a better community member, a better father, a better brother, a better son. You know, call me into his office, give me the stern talk, and tell me to put a ring on my beautiful wife's finger. Just for being a great innovator and just somebody that just always looked, you know, at people for face value and gave them a chance to really smoke out themselves. So, Mr. Gordon, rest in peace, my icon, my role model, and patience is not only a virtue, but it is a necessity.
Just keep it right on the head again.
Good evening, my name is Red from G98.7. Thank you. I wrote something, but I only have 10 seconds, but I was supposed to start at G98.7 from the beginning, and I decided to go to Vancouver for another job. Mr. G quoted something from the Bible, the prodigal son, many of you are aware, and he was like, I'm here for you, G's here for you, and if you decide to return, I'm always here. So thank you. We are not the minority, and may G98.7 live on.
My name is Arville Cudipa, Tech Customer, Worthy Sports. Mr. G to me is a mentor. And of course, he was tough on me when he thought that I didn't make the mark. But I want to thank him for believing in me. And I will forever cherish the vision. And I'm very proud of the legacy that he's left behind.
I'm not Cutie Pie. I'm Jason Portwando. Mr. G, of course, have to put this in cricket perils. You went to bat for us. Now it's time for us to go to bat for you. Walk good. Bless.
Good afternoon. My name's Gail Phillip, and I'm a former G98.7 employee representing the small islands that Mr. G really loved: Grenada, FITZROY, Antigua, Dominica. He loved us all.
Barbados.
He embraced all of us, our traditions, even though he was more conservative. He was embracing Caravana, loved all of us in our costumes. He broke barriers and he helped us hear the news back home on a regular basis. You weren't hearing any news about your island anywhere else but on G98. And I'd just like to thank him for the opportunity that he gave me and for reconnecting me with my roots. Rest in peace, Mr. G.
Hello, I'm David McTeague, formerly of G98.7 and Promotions. What I want to say is to Mr. G, thank you so much for giving so many of us this amazing opportunity. One thing, a testament to Mr. G is how he was able to turn strangers into friends and friends into family. So we want to thank everyone for coming in today and showing your love and support. Rest in peace, Mr. G. Rest in power. We love you.
My name is Tatiana, Miss Go-To Girl King, co-host of the African Groove Show. Mr. Gordon allowed me to make history by being the first female Ghanaian, Canadian, on commercial radio in this amazing country. Mr. Gordon, rest in peace.
Good afternoon, my name is MC Bonde, the voice. Mr. G gave the continent of Africa a voice out here. I'm the one that used to joke with him a lot and get carried away, and he would put me back in check. I thank you for that, sir. I'll stay in check. Rest in peace, Mr. Gordon.
Good afternoon, I'm Camilla Guthrie. I'm from the news department. I do sports. And Mr. Gordon sat with me for about a month, and he taught me the rules of the game and how to ride it. So he was not just a boss, he was a friend, he was a supporter. I love you, Mr. Gordon, and I miss you.
Good afternoon, I'm R. Chung, 100% Canadian. Quickly, a vision sometimes comes with risk. And with Mr. G knew that this was a risk that he was taking. And because of that risk, his now vision has come to pass. So Mr. G, I salute you, I honor you, and I'm so grateful for this privilege.
Good afternoon, my name is Simone Douglas, social media coordinator and in the news department as well. Mr. G was had a passion for young people, and I remember first starting at G at the age of 24, and through the years I learned and I grew with him and learned to appreciate him for being a kind-hearted and passionate person that he was. I'll miss him greatly, and will always appreciate him for giving me a chance in this industry. And sleep soundly, sir, and we'll definitely keep your legacy.
Wow.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Perion, aka Pinedo, from the morning show Mark and Jem. Thank you. So, Mr. G, I thank you for always checking up on me, checking up on my family, my kids. Even the last conversation we had, that was something that you did. And you know, if I should remember anything about Mr. Gordon, is that he was a very determined man. No matter what it was, even if it seemed impossible to everyone else, he was determined that it was gonna get it accomplished. And we're here, and we're gonna make sure that that determination still lives on, and the legacy will live on, and G97 will continue to grow.
Hi, my name is Simone Keane. I'm from the Grapevine. I worked with Mr. G every Sunday for almost 7 years. He became a friend, he became family, and I want to thank you, sir, for the opportunity. I want to thank you for the family that I've adopted, and I want to thank you for showing everybody how to live. Live with a free heart and be selfless. Thank you, Mr. G. Rest in power.
OMG 98.7. My name is Kiri Lee Crawford. I'm from Steps After Dark. And I just wanted to say, whether Mr. G knew you for 40 seconds or 40 years, he treated you with the same level of respect, of love, the same level of regard. I want to say, first of all, and thanks to all the fans that have become family. Thank you for lifting us and keeping us high in your hearts and in your prayers. We thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Delroy G. from the Delroy G Showcase. And I'd like to just tell you something briefly that I met Mr. Gordon years ago when I was at another station. And he invited me as guest on his program. And from then, we carry on. I helped him, I followed him through the struggle, the station they applied for, and everything that we went on over the years. And he's really a determined person. I want to say thank you, Mr. Gordon, for giving me the opportunity to reach you people with my voice. Thank you very much. Rest in peace.
Gee whiz, I didn't know that.
Tommy Davis.
Good afternoon, I'm Chris Hales, my sidekick, Ari Rodriguez.
I just couldn't give up on this moment to refer to this book, this daily devotional, because on May 10th, today, is the official farewell. And in it, it's written that the chief executive officer has resigned of ruler of his people. And he wants us to continue fearing the Lord as we go on.
And finally, I just want to say to you, my boss, my icon, my legend, that's the kind of day it's been.
My name is Gemini from the
And I'm Mark Strong from the Morning Show. Mark
Forgive me, my voice is a bit hoarse, but there was no sickness, no illness that could have kept me from being here today. If you knew Mr. G, you knew how much he loved words. It brought me to a poem that I love from County Cullen, and yet do I marvel. And yet do I marvel this curious thing, to make a poet black and then to bid him sing. And it's talking about we as a people having all of these talents and having no platform, and how sad it is that we have these talents and nowhere to use them. Mr. Gordon gave us a platform. He allowed us to sing. He brought us together, and Mr. Gordon, we will keep singing in rhythm with your groove.
Finally, I just want to say, as a great man of love who sits beside in this casket here now with us, he has found a way to spread his greatness and love and allow us to be the product of his love and his greatness. And I also definitely want to say that because there is a time where you'll, as a leader, he showed us you'll have friends and enemies, enemies and friends, but as long as you have a vision that is steadfast in the Lord, that there's nothing that friends or enemies can help to move away from. You will always have the same vision. So for that, I want to say for everybody here, I'm going to join something that's a little different. I know normally it's in matrimony and in marriage, but it does say that whatever God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
I'm going to do something quickly, just in about, give me just 60 seconds. I can do this quickly. Nicola and Tatiana, just when I call your name, just step forward and wave, please. Grapevine, Nicola and Tiana, I'm sorry. Just wave, that's Nicola, Grapevine. Tiana, I'm sorry, why am I saying Tatiana? Tiana. Oral Buchanan, sports. Roger. That's one of the contributors on the World Beat Sports, that's all we're there. Nikki G. Step forward, Nikki. We have Order Joy, step forward, that I've worked with the morning team for a long time. We have our senior sales, Laura, step forward. Marlon, a part of the enforcers, step forward for Black Edward. React, former employee. Did I miss anyone? Are we all good? Are we all good? Did I miss Millie? Okay, Millie and Sophie, don't cancel the contracts on me now, okay? Sales team, Millie and Sophia. Wait. Did I do good now? You all good? All right. What did I miss? Okay, let's do this.
Juice man. Cricket and stuff like that. But not only that, then we have this one where the media thing is with Jim and Mark, but then come over these things.
I deeply regret that I can't be with you at the service in person today, but I am in Los Angeles doing something I think Fitzroy would have approved of. That is selling our great city, to which he contributed so much, selling our city as a place to produce music and film and TV shows, and bringing with it all the opportunity that goes with those kinds of productions in our city. As I said in the statement that I made on his passing, Fitzroy Gordon was a towering figure. in our city. Yes, he loved and he cared about the community where he had his roots, and his contributions were many. A lot of it had to do with giving our Black and Caribbean communities, our wonderful Black and Caribbean communities, positive profile and opportunities, and creating more awareness of their thriving cultures. Some people will think he came to be known as Dr. Love because he loved so many people, and that's true. But I would say there's another angle to this. He was also Dr. Love because he was beloved by so many people from so many different walks of life and so many backgrounds. Quite a few of them, many of them, people who never met him, but loved him through the magic of radio. And as someone who has the radio bug still in him, it never really does leave you. He had the radio bug, and while he got well-deserved credit for persistence in getting what became known as G98.7 off the ground, and that was a very important development in the evolution of Toronto, the Toronto of today, I can understand that he loved being on the air, interacting with real people, more than worrying about ad sales and transmitters. Torontonians who become the most beloved and the most respected are often those whose passions and work go beyond their own immediate circle. And because he was a broadcaster and reached out to so many, and owing to the incredible amount he did, for example, for newcomers to Toronto generally, FITZROY Gordon was one of those very, very special Torontonians. His was a life well lived, but cut way too short. And I know that I speak for all Torontonians in expressing sincere condolences to his family, to his friends, and to the whole community. Rest in peace, FITZROY. You certainly earned it.